morning, Spuds Country. Welcome to Dangle Fest 2023. Your Moorhead Spuds are set to take on the Rochester Mustangs in Game 1.
Tonight's game is a 15-A matchup between the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Rochester Mustangs, and the home team, the Moorhead Spuds. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, starting with Rochester. In goal, number 30, Amelia Radfriends. At defense, number 20, Tegan Carroll. At defense, number 22, Addison Basili. At wing, number 9, Peyton Olchen. At wing, number 23, Sophie Riggin. In the center, number 8, Anna Rakosvin. And the rest of Rochester, they are coached by Tom Stewart and Nils Satterstrom. And now the starters for Moorhead, starting with the goaltender, number 33, Addison Endel. At defense, number 25, Isabel Oaks. At defense, number 11, Celia Elmendinger. At wing, number 3, Molly Hockett. At wing, number 7, Lauren Ness. In the center, number 4, Caitlin Shirley. And the rest of the Spuds, they are coached by Sean Graves and Jerry Arneson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Some days it is just easier to let the announcer handle the starting lineups, especially when you're standing right underneath the speaker. So starting up front for Moorhead will be number 3, Molly Hockett. And number 7, Lauren Ness. Centering it up will be number 4, Caitlin Shirley. Back on the blue line will be number 11, Celia Almendinger, and number 25, Isabel Oaks. Back in net for Moorhead will be number 33, puck is down, we are underway. Just inside the Mustang zone. It'll be fought for on the near side corner. Hockett sends it down low, right to the bottom of the slot, where it'll be picked up by number 22, Addison Vasily. She's able to clear it out to center. At the neutral zone, it's knocked away by Shirley. Shirley is going to get called for a trip. So with 13:25 to go here in the first, Moorhead will have their first penalty. Periods for this tournament run 14 minutes. Penalties run at a minute and a half. If either team is able to get a 5-goal deficit or have a 5-goal lead against the other team, they will automatically have a running clock. Doesn't matter what period. Down in the far corner, the Moorhead zone shot from the far side by Stewart is going to be turned away by the Moorhead goalminder. Another shot from the far side is going to get blocked down in traffic. Handled along the near side wall and turned out to center by Johnson. Backhands it into the Mustang zone. It'll be picked up and flipped right back out by Basil Sandberg. From the far side, shot taken. Goes wide and into the corner. It comes all the way up to 12. Madrid Sanderson, she puts a shot on Andel, and that one gets turned away. Near side Sandberg down into the corner, drops it off for Sanderstorm. Centering pass out in front of Andel is going to get knocked down. It'll come back up to the point with another shot, then Andel will get covered up. 12:19 first period. Mustangs have 24 seconds left on their power play. Face off far side between Steen and Wadewitz. Shot from the far side is knocked down by Steen. Steen is able to flip it up and out. No icing. It's going to go all the way to the other end. Mustangs will have to pick it up. 10 seconds to go on their power play. They will have time for one more rush if they hurry. 5 seconds. Carried into the Moorhead zone by Wadewitz. Shot. Save made by Andel. As the penalty expires, face-off will come to the glove side of Addison Andel. Spuds are wearing their home orange with the black and white trim skating right to left on your radio dial. Rochester is wearing their travel black with a red and white trim, and they're going left to right. Handle along the near side boards. It'll be Carroll, tries to get it down low. It's going to be turned over to the near side boards by the Spuds. Out to center. Bounced around and sent the other direction by Vasley. Out in front, shot from the top of the slot by Fitzgerald is going to get kicked over to the side by Andel. Spuds are able to clear it all the way down to the other end. This one will get called back on icing. Face-off on the far side was won by the Spud, controlled by the Spuds. Flipped out to center by Johnson. Swenson gives chase. It's going to be Quinn Stewart that'll pick it up along the near side wall down in the Mustang end. Taken out to center by the Mustangs. Dumped in and stolen away by the Spuds. Johnson will be in the near side corner. Back behind the net, she'll have it knocked off her stick by Rochester. Everett tries to clear, has it knocked off her stick. We'll end up with number 8, Raxonic. I'm hoping I'm saying that one right. Up to the point, shot. Knocked out, or blocked out in traffic by Johnson. Puck ends up behind the net and all the way around onto the near side boards. Held in at the point by Sandberg. Swenson tries to dig it out. Everett steps in to help. They're going to pin Smith and Sandberg up against the boards. Puck finally comes free. Everett is going to have it going the other direction. Retzer with her. 2-on-1 shot. She takes it back on the backhand. Gets knocked down behind the net. Mustangs come away with it. Taken the other direction by Rasnonik. Osnick. Shot from the far side. Backhand. Shot from Everett goes off the side of the net and ends up back behind the net. It'll be picked up near side by Oak. Set back down deep. Around onto the far side boards. It'll be knocked out to center by Stewart. Picked up at the red line by Lee. She tries to set it ahead. It's going to be intercepted by the Mustangs. Taken down into the far side corner. Centering pass is going to get sent back to the back wall. Now handled by Cutter. Cutter up and off the board. It'll be picked up by Kurtz just inside of her own zone and sent back out to neutral ice. Stewart, near side, brings it in. Gets challenged along the wall by Oakes. Puck comes loose. Back up to Carroll. She sends it down low. Spuds are able to clear it out. It's going to get sent the length of the ice and called back on icing. Since I am standing right underneath the speaker, I'm getting picking up their audio very well, which is going to cause a whole lot of copyright issues for me. That's why I keep muting during each whistle. Vastly near side or far side, sent into Stewart, turned into the center and sent right back out by Hockett. Shot from the far side, turned off to the corner. Bouncing puck loose in the far side faceoff circle will be cleared out by the Spuds. Shirley and Stewart both give chase, but it's going to get called back on icing. Along the near side boards, Ness. Off the wall, they try to clear it out. It's going to get sent right back in behind the net by Sandberg. Bounced around down the corner. It'll come to Olchen. Spuds are able to clear it. Hockett ahead to Shirley. She can't get a stick on it. It'll be picked up by Stewart just inside of her own zone. Stewart out through neutral. Along the near side board, she gets challenged by Oakes. Oakes is able to clear it right back out to center. Handled just inside of her own zone, Sandberg. Flipped into the Moorhead end by Regan. Cleared out by Oakes. Shirley touches it up at center. Spuds go for the change. Taken by Smith back behind her own net. She sends it off the far side boards to Kurtz. Out to center, it'll be Oakes. Now to Hendrickson. Hendrickson centering pass, nobody home, picked up by the Mustangs. They're able to clear it out, going the other direction. Kurtz one-on-one with Allmendinger. Allmendinger is able to steer her all the way around onto the far side, but she's able to get the shot away. Another shot from the top of the point will go high and over the net. Spuds look to clear. Around back behind the net. Off the boards and out to center. It'll be picked up by Kurtz. Cross ice over to Smith. She'll send a shot from the red line onto Andel that she'll turn around back behind the net. Near side corner, Allmendinger. Sends it around the horn over to Hanukkah, far side. Hanukkah tries to clear it. It'll be held in by Vassy. Down to the far side corner. Steen and Allmendinger both fight for it. Spuds are able to clear it out. Flipped right back in, and the Mustangs will end up offside. Dumped in on the near side. It's going to be picked up by Johnson. She'll take it down into the corner. Around onto the far side board, Retzer to Swenson. She's able to chip it out to center. Retzer picks it up far side. Retzer loses an edge as she enters the zone, but she's able to hang on to the puck. Stolen away by Vasily, far side. Carried out through center by Wadewitz. Down in, dumped in behind the net. Gretsch will pick it up in the far side corner. Tries to clear it out. It'll be intercepted right at the blue line. Carried all the way down and in with a shot put on Andell that'll go right into her chest pad and fall into her glove. 5:32 remaining here in the first. Face off far side is going to be handled by the Spuds. Taken out through center, Tibitowski. She has it poke checked away by Sandberg just as she enters the zone. Sandberg will take it down, take a trip back behind her own net. Lee intercepts her pass back behind the net. Spuds come away with it. Cutter, centering pass, nobody there. Will come all the way out to the point. And be dumped back down into the corner by Dufault. Near side, Tibitowski. Tibitowski centering pass blocked by Sandberg, goes over into the far side corner. Dufault shot turned away by Vaslin, or by Stewart. Handled in the far side corner by Kurtz. She's going to send it the length of the ice. That one will get called back on icing with 4:34 left in the first. Face-off is going to be far side of the Mustang zone. Between Fitzgerald and Shirley. Shirley's going to win the draw. Spuds will control momentarily. Picked up at the far side corner and set around on the near. Oaks will intercept. She'll fight with Satterstrom. Mustangs are able to clear. Satterstrom near side. Down through the neutral zone and all the way into the corner. She'll get steered by Ness. Centers it up. Spuds are able to turn it away. Picked up from the top of the point by Vaslin. Shot is blocked down in traffic. Out to center the puck goes. Carroll will pick it up just inside of her own zone. Ahead to Satterstrom. Pocket steps in, pins it up against the wall with Satterstrom. Carroll, Ness, and Shirley all come in to help. Johnson brings it around near side, looks for the shot, takes the shot. That'll get covered up by Ranfranz. Face-off near side between Steen and Kurtz is controlled by the Spuds. Hanukkah back behind the net to Hendrickson, cross ice. It's going to slide all the way out to center. Johnson comes streaming across and enters just as it enters her own zone. Over to Hendrickson off the boards, out to center. Flipped up and out of play and into the bleachers beside us. That one goes out of play. Face-off comes down to center ice. Controlled by the Mustangs. Dufault, far side, stolen away by Stewart. Set in the corner behind the net. Picked up by Steen. Now Hendrickson. Hendrickson looks to clear. She's able to push it all the way out to center and gives chase after it. She'll fight with it all the way down into the Mustang zone with Stewart. Pulled out by Vassily. Sent ahead to Stewart, who can't get a stick on it. Spuds have it going the other direction. Hanukkah can't hang on to it. It'll be taken away by Wadewitz. Sent out to center, and then flipped up into the Spuds bench, out of play. Face-off far side is controlled by the Spuds, dumped in by Allmendinger, right onto the stick of Vasley. Swenson, near side, gets knocked down. Mustangs are able to clear. Allmendinger, center ice, over to Oaks, near side. She tries to chip it ahead. It'll be knocked away by Olsen. Oaks with it, dumps it into the zone. Near side corner, it'll be picked up by Carroll. Mustangs look to clear. They're able to do so. It'll be handled by Rakosnik, who dumps it into the Moorhead end. That'll get called back on icing. Face-off near side is controlled by the Spuds. Johnson over to Dufault. Just about loses it out to center. She's able to flip it down into the corner. It'll be picked up by Sandberg. Dufault gets knocked down by Smith. Puck taken out through center. Centering pass. Shot goes just wide as Kurtz loses an edge. Spuds look to clear. Flipped out to center. Tibitowski. She's going to get run down by Quinn Stewart. They're going to run into the back wall. Puck comes free. Dufault up to Johnson. Johnson near side boards. It'll be taken out to center now by Smith. All the way down into the Moorhead zone. Centering pass. Turned away by Lee. Lee is going to take it back the other direction. Lee and Tibitowski 2 on 3. It'll get knocked over onto the near side board. Spuds are going to end up offside as it got bumped back out to center and then thrown right back in. You know what? At this rate, I'm going to deal with the copyright issues after the video is over. Face-off far side between Fitzgerald and Shirley. It's going to be controlled by the Spuds. Shirley near side drives the zone all the way down, takes a trip behind the net, looks for the centering pass, is going to end up having knocked off her stick along the far side boards. Taken there by Fitzgerald and sent out to center. Oaks just past the red line is going to send it the other direction. That one will get called back on icing. Back to the Moorhead zone we go. All right, so I see cupping the mic really doesn't help much either. Face off to the glove side of Andel. Spuds are going to control. Pocket far side to Ness. Over to Shirley, 3-on-2 break. Shirley near side shot. Blocked out in front. Right back to Shirley. Oaks. Oaks will send it back behind the net. It'll be picked up along the far side wall by Hockett. Hockett looks to set it up. Over to Shirley. Shirley takes a shot. Glove saved by Ranfranz. Puck bends up back behind the net. He bounced out to center with 2 seconds to go here in the period. And that is how we're going to expire the period. Spuds and Mustangs tied at 0. 1 minute break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to start the second. 1 minute intermission breaks. 14-minute period, minute and a half penalties. Face off at center is going to be controlled by the Mustangs. Handled by Oltgen on the far side. Ness. Kurt steps in to help. Shirley pins her up against the wall. Spuds come away with it. Dufault, near side. Ahead to Shirley. To Hockett. Hockett breaks the zone 1-on-3. It's going to be stolen away by Quinn Stewart. To Johnson. Picked up in her own zone. Sends it ahead to Ness. Tossed right back out of the zone by Sandberg, far side. It'll be controlled by the Mustangs. Mustangs are able to clear out. Stolen away by Hockett. Dumped in by Hendrickson, far side corner. It'll be handled back behind the net by Kurt. She's going to send it along the near side boards. Hanukkah can't hold it in. Oakes will pick it up out at center. Bolchin, near side. Stolen away by the Spuds. Hanukkah, near side. She tries to center it up. It's going to be blocked by Sandberg. Shot from the far side onto Ranfranz is going to get turned away. A little dribbler backhand onto her as well, and that one will get covered up. Face-off will go to the club side of Ranfranz, the Mustang goalminder. Face-off far side is going to be controlled by the Spuds. The Hanukkah down in the far side corner. To Hendrickson. Hendrickson backhands it behind the net. It'll be picked up by the Mustangs and sent around onto the near side boards. They're able to clear it out. Puck is going to go all the way down into the Moorhead zone where Oakes will have it. Oakes to Hendrickson. Hendrickson sends it out. That one's going to go all the way down. It was touched at center by the Mustangs. No icing. Hanukkah and Vasily back behind the net. Cleared out by the Mustangs. Allmendinger far side. Looks like we have a high sticking. Face-off will go to the glove side of Andel in the Moorhead zone. Looks like it's going to be Everett and Kurtz to square up. Everett wins the draw. Mustangs control. Vasily, near side shot. Will get covered up by Andel. Face-off will come to the club side of Andel this time. Again, Everett and Kurtz to square off. Mustangs control. Shot from the far side by Carroll. Again is going to get swallowed up by Andel. 11:34. Bretzer's in the box for another minute 16. I'm not entirely sure what the call was. They haven't told us yet, and I completely missed it. Face-off, Dufault. And Kurtz ends up back behind the net.
Abigail Retzer. A minute and a half penalty for interference.
So Retzer was called for interference. Shot from the near side by Vasily. Gets blocked in traffic out in front of Andel. Puck ends up on the far side with a shot from Carroll that will get covered up by Andel. So we'll have a face-off on the far side, glove side of Andel. This time it will be Shirley and Kurtz to square up. Mustangs will control. Shot from the far side is going to get blocked out in traffic. Onto the far side corner. Fitzgerald. Now Satterstrom. Crossover to Quinn Vasily. Or Quinn Stewart. Shot. Stick save made by Andel. Back onto the back corner, or into the near side corner. Off the wall, Kurtz, shot. Off the shoulder pads, 30 seconds to go in the penalty kill. Again, over to Quinn Stewart. She tries for the backhand. This time it's going to get knocked out to center, forcing the Mustangs to reset. Far side board, Shirley is able to chip it down into the Mustang end. It'll be picked up by Quinn Stewart along the far side wall. She takes a trip around behind her own net. Tries to send it ahead to Kennedy Stewart, who attempts to clear it out. Spuds are there to hold it in. Shirley takes it down in, puts the one off the post. It'll end up in the near side corner. Not sure why they were saying both teams at full strength, but we'll go with it. Pocket near side, breaks the zone. Centering pass over to Ness is going to get blocked by Quinn Stewart. It'll end up on the far side boards. Picked up and taken the other way by Oltgen. Down in, she'll have it knocked off her stick by Almendinger. She tries to center it up. It's going to be Ness who comes away with it. Ness out to Shirley at center, to Hockett. Hockett far side, breaks the zone. She gets steered all the way down in. She brings it into the slot. Backhand, loose out front, shot, the goal! Loose rebound, puck picked up by Hockett, or by Ness, to put the Spuds on the board first, 1-0. After a massive flurry of shots and loose pucks bouncing around out in front of Franzen, the Spuds are able to come away with the pickup by Lauren Ness. 1-0 Spuds, 9:24 to go here in the second. Puck controlled out at center by Vassily. Knocked off her stick by Ness. Turned back down into the Moorhead zone by Carroll. Pinned up against the wall. It'll be Rasnick. Watch, is going to come away with it. Near side boards picked up by Vassily. Shot blocked out in front of Andel. It'll go over to the far side boards and be picked up by Carroll. Dumped down into the slot. It'll be jumped on by Andel. We'll be down to 8:52 second period. Spuds lead 1-0. Face off far side will be Steen and Kurtz. Spuds are almost able to clear it out. Ref is going to say they did. Looked like it was actually held in by Vassily, but the ref said no, it made it across into neutral ice. So we'll have a face-off near side, just outside the Moorhead zone. On the far side, I guess, now this time. Steen and Kurtz to square up. Spuds are going to control. Oakes sends it behind the net over to Almendinger. Hanukkah tries to clear it out. It'll be intercepted by Vassily with a shot on Vandal. That'll get turned away. Spuds come away with it. Hendrickson far side. 1-on-2 into the Mustang zone. She puts the brakes on right before she gets to the corner. Tries to center it up. It'll be turned off by the Mustangs. Up to Oakes. Dumped into the corner and down behind the net to Hanukkah. Hanukkah with a centering pass that'll get taken out. And this time, the Spuds are going to go on the power play. On the cross by number 16, Taylor Kurtz from the Rochester Mustangs. Face-off near side is going to be sent out to center. Johnson will pick it up along the run at the red line. Knocked free by Weidwitz. Retzer near side dumps it into the zone. She'll have it knocked off her stick by Weidwitz. Weidwitz will take a trip behind the net. Sends it off the far side board. It's going to be picked up by Johnson. Johnson sends it into the slot. It's going to slide all the way over onto the near side boards where it'll be picked up by Vassily. Vassily is able to clear it out to center. Spuds reset. Retzer and Vassily fight for it. Shot from the side by Retzer. Puck ends up back behind the net. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Cleared out to center. It's going to go all the way down to the other end. No icing. Icing on that one, so okay. I'm not quite understanding what the refs are going by for rules on that one, but I guess we're going to get called back on icing for that one. So we'll come back down into the Mustang zone on the near side and have a face-off between Cutter and Fitzgerald. Spuds control, far side, Oaks. Oaks shot right into the glove of Ranfran. So we'll now have a face-off on the far side. 7:04 to go in the second. 27 seconds remaining on the Spuds power play. Face-off far side. Ends up down in the corner. Up to Allmendinger, skate bumps it down to Default, or to Cutter. Cutter sends it cross ice, it'll slide out to center. Lee and Cutter are able to push it in. It'll be picked up back behind the Rochester net by Carroll. She sends it the length of the ice. That one ends up going right on to Andel, so no icing. And the Mustangs are back at full strength. Folks attempts to clear it out. It will be picked up by Vassar. Now Lee. Sent to center by Allmendinger. Brought in far side with a shot from Smith. Goes high and into the near side corner. And cleared out by the Spuds. Picked up just inside of her own zone by Carroll. Taken away at center ice. It'll be Oaks. Drives in all the way down into the far side corner. Loses it off her stick. It'll be Shirley on the far side boards. Apparently we're playing soccer with the thing now because Kurtz is kicking it around too. Tossed out to center by Olsson. Handled just inside of her own zone by Hockett. Hockett flips it ahead. It's going to be picked up by Vasily just inside of her own zone. She tips it right back out to neutral ice. Held up along the far side wall right in front of the Spuds bench. Shirley comes away with it. Takes a trip around behind the net, looks to center it up. She's going to bring it all the way around to the near side boards. Tries for the backhand that's going to get knocked free by Smith. Puck bounces free out at center. It'll be flipped down into the Moorhead zone by Vasily. Off the backhand, up over the top of everybody and called back on icing. Back down into the Mustang zone we go. Face-off will be far side between Steen and Wadewitz. Spuds are going to win the draw. Hendrickson shot, glove save by Ranfrans. And she'll drop it right on the ice and jump on top of it. Face-off far side is going to be won by the Spuds, controlled by the Spuds. Hanukkah has it stripped off her stick from the far side of the near side of the slot. Sandberg out to center. Bumped ahead by Rakosnik. Tossed back into the Moorhead zone, hand along the near side board by Sandberg. Hanukkah comes away with it, centers it over, sends it over to Hendrickson. Hendrickson tries to dump it down into the slot. It's going to be turned away by the Mustangs. Sandberg near side, out to center. Tossed right back in by the Spuds. Hanukkah drives down into the slot, has it stripped just as she enters. It'll be Rakosnik on the near side who sends it the length of the ice. That one will get called back on icing. 4:18 to go, second period. Faceoff comes back down to the Mustang end on the near side. Looks like it'll be Everts and Kurtz to square off. Allmendinger shot blocked by Vasily in the slot. Up to Oaks, far side. She'll send it back into Everett behind the net. Stripped off her stick by Carroll. And Fitzgerald tries to clear it, held in by Oaks on the far side. Everett, Retzer. Down into the near side corner. Flipped up and on a play by Kurtz. 3:49, face-off will be near side. Glove side of Ranfran. This time it will be 16 and 60. Cutter and Kurtz to square up. Puck ends up along the far side board. Backhanded down into the corner by Oaks. It'll be picked up by Lee behind the net. To Timotowski, back to Lee. Stolen away by Kurtz. Pinned up against the wall. Lee comes away with it, puts a little shot on Ranfran. Ends up back behind the net. Comes up to Allmendinger. Allmendinger takes a shot that goes right into the chest pad and gets swallowed up by Ranfran. So after the first, if I remember correctly, it was 7 shots for the Mustangs, 4 shots for the Spuds. It's definitely looking like the Spuds are going to control this period. Lee up to Dufault. Dufault down into the corner behind the net. Timotowski, far side. Puck comes free. Lee back behind the net. Tries for the wraparound. And that one will get covered up by Ranfran. 3:11. Face-off will go to the far side. Club side of Ranfran. This time it'll be Shirley and Wadewitz to square off. If you could see what Steve's face was doing, my camera operator tonight, I totally agree. If it wasn't for the headphones, I'd be going deaf because that speaker is extremely loud. Pocket. Knocked free. Cleared out to center by Quinn Stewart. Held up along the far side wall just inside the Moorhead zone. Johnson kicks it back out to center. Picked up by Quinn Stewart. Near side penalty upcoming on an elbow call. It's going to be elbowing on number 21, Quinn Vassley. Spuds go to the power play. Vassley goes to the box with 2:42 to go in the second. Elbowing is going to be the call. So back down into the Mustang zone we go. Shirley and, number 21, Quinn Stewart. Quinn Stewart was the guilty party. Face-off is going to be Satterstrom. And Shirley, Spuds control, far side, Ness. Ness drops it off for Shirley. Shirley into the corner to Hockett. Hockett tries to set it up, picked off by Vassley. Vassley, far side, out through center. Puck is going to get knocked free by Johnson. Now we have a penalty forthcoming on
11-18. That's Stewart of the Mustangs for Ellen. Time 11-18.
On Shirley for a high stick. So with 1:06 to go in their power play, that will negate the Spuds power play. And we'll go to playing 4-on-4 hockey for 1:06. Then the Mustangs will have a 24-second power play. Face-off, far side is going to be controlled by the Spuds. Oaks out through center. Has it poked off her stick right at the red line by Carroll. Ness is going to pick it up off the wall, down into the corner. It'll end up stopping just behind the net. It'll be picked up there by Carroll. Off the far side boards, back down into the corner. Oaks cross over to Allmendinger. Allmendinger looks for the shot. Blocked by Vassley near side. It's going to slide all the way out the center. This one's going to end up down in the Spud zone before Oaks is able to get it. She steers it over onto the near side boards. Pushes it ahead to Allmendinger at center. Dump back in by Kurtz. Back out to center. Vassley near side. entered the zone offside. So we'll have a face-off near side, just outside the Mustang defensive, or the Spuds defensive zone. 17 seconds to go on the Mustang penalty, 42 seconds to go on the Shirley penalty. Mustangs are going to win. Puck ends up along the near side board to Johnson. Sends it around to Hanukkah on the far side. Hanukkah able to clear it out to center. It's going to be picked up just inside her own zone by Fitzgerald. Sent along the near side wall at neutral. Spuds come away with it. Dufault steers it down into the corner.
Last minute to play in this period. 1 minute.
Far side cleared out to center. Knocked free by Steen. Dufault and Satterstrom fight for it. It's going to get sent into the Moorhead end. Picked up by Johnson down in the corner. Johnson gets knocked down. That one's going to be a penalty.
Spuds at full swing. Both teams at
So
full swing.
as one penalty expires for Shirley, the Spuds go to full strength. At number 14, Marley Smith is going to be headed to the box. I'm guessing for the cross on that one. 37.6 seconds to go in the period. Spuds will have 1:30 on the power play, so unless they score, that means they will start the third on the strong hand. Stewart behind the net. Steers it over to the far side board, has it poke checked away by Allmendinger. Far side centering pass to Hanukkah. It's going to get turned out. That one's going to go the length of the ice and get called back on icing. 19.3 seconds to go.
Smith of the Mustangs for body checking. Time 13:23.
So there's the official call, checking, just as I figured. 19.3 seconds to go. Face-off far side between Shirley and Wadewitz. Controlled by the Spuds. Allmendinger far side. Cross to Oakes. Oakes shot blocked by Sandberg. She's able to carry it out to center. Knocked off her stick by Oakes. Oakes will handle along the near side board as the clock expires. So that's going to do it for the second period. 34 minutes in the books. Spuds lead this one 1-0. We'll be back in 1 minute. Two periods in the book, 28 minutes down, not 34. I'm used to calling 17-minute periods. Johnson flips it out to center. ticked right back in by the Mustangs on the near side. It'll be handled by Kennedy Stewart down to the corner. She takes it around behind the net over to the far side. Looks to center it up, drops it off for Vasily. Vasily can't hang on to it. It's going to be taken out to center. 24 seconds to go on the power play. Ness, near side corner. Shirley back down to Ness. To Hockett. Hockett, Shirley, blocked by Vasily. Shot, kicked away by Ranfran. Johnson down to the corner. Brings it around on all the way into the far side. Sends it back over to Hockett, back behind the net. Power play over, both teams even strength. Puck is going to be held up at the near side, or the far side corner by Kurtz. Kurtz and Johnson fight for it all the way. Kurtz comes away with it out through center. She'll take it in to the Moorhead zone on the far side. Gets steered all the way into the along the far side wall, but is able to put a shot on Andel that'll get covered up. So we'll go to the face-off on the far side of the Moorhead defensive zone. They said the shots on goal during intermission there. If I remember correctly, it was 13 saves total for Andel, and 9 for Ranfran's. Puck near side of the Mustang zone, handled by Satterstrom in the corner. She sends it up and off the glass. That one's going to roll all the way down to the other end. It's not going to be able to get... Leibowitz was able to get to it, but she wasn't able to do anything with it. It was too deep in the corner. Held up along the near side board. Spuds come away with it. Oakes. Near side, hard and fast, 1-on-2. Sends it over to Hanukkah. Hanukkah can't get a stick on it. It's going to end up on the near side, or on the far side wall. Gathered up behind the net, Quinn Stewart. Stolen away by Hendrickson. Hendrickson brings it around, takes a shot from the near side that'll get kicked down by Ranfran. Taken out to center by Satterstrom. All the way into the Moorhead zone. She puts the brakes on. She tries to drive it all the way down. She takes a shot that got bounced up into the air and landed right in front of Andel, who saw it hit and literally dropped on her face. She pretty much face planted on the ice to cover up that puck. Shot from the point. That one's going to find the back of the net. This game is tied at 2, or tied at 1, with 11:31 to go here in the third. Face off at center between Everett and Kurtz is going to be controlled by the Mustang. Taken into the Moorhead zone by Olchek. Dropped off for Kurtz. Kurtz hands it off to Vasily, who takes the shot on Andel. It goes right into her chest pads and into her glove.
Kurtz. Time in the goal, 2:29 of period 3. Vasily from Kurtz. Even strength goal from the Mustangs at 2:29.
Face off far side is controlled by the Mustangs. Flipped down into the near side corner by Vasily. Picked up by the Spuds back behind the nets. Cutter. Now Dufault. Off the boards, Cuddler end up with it. It's going to be kicked out to center. Stolen away by the Mustangs. Vasily, far side, runs into Dufault. Puck comes free. It'll end up going all the way down into the Mustang zone. No ice. Cutter, centering pass, far side. Nobody home. It'll be sent out to center by Smith. Brought in by Kennedy Stewart. Driven right down in top of the slot. Shot. Kick save. Andel. Taken behind the net by Oakes. Out to center. That's one's going to get kicked out all the way down. Touched up by at least 2 Mustangs. Handled behind her own net by Quinn Stewart. Quinn Stewart tries to set it ahead. Allmendinger and Kennedy Stewart fight for it. Spuds come away with it. Shirley tries to backhand it down into the zone. It'll be sent right back out to center and handled by the Mustangs. Kennedy Stewart sends a high flying shot onto Andel. It got bounced down. Rebound was picked up by Satterstrom and set right in on Andel, who was a long way from home, but she was able to make the save and jump on it and get the fancy little spin at the end. Face off Kurtz and Shirley, far side. They come up to Quinn Stewart. Shot blocked down by Andel. 9:49 to go. Puck turned out to center by the Spuds. Dumped right back in by Stewart. Will end up back behind the net. Off the wall, Johnson. Near side, Ness. Now Dufault tries to flip it out. It'll be picked off by Sandberg. Sandberg's shot is blocked by Johnson. Johnson is able to carry it out near side. Flips it up into the air. It goes down into the near side corner. It'll be picked up there by Sandberg. She sends it along the back wall. Hockett is able to hold it in on the far side. Back behind the net. Stewart sends it along over to the far side boards. It's going to be Allmendinger who comes away with it. Shot goes just wide and into the near side corner. Shirley. Now Hanukkah. Back behind the net. It ends up on the side of the net. Ref whistles it dead. 8:56, third period, tied at Snake Eyes. Face-off will go to the club side of Ranfran. Ranfrans. There's a Z on it. Steen and Satterstrom squared up. Puck comes along the near side boards. It's going to be Oakes and one of the Mustangs that fight for it. Finally, Satterstrom comes in to help. She's able to pull it loose, takes it out through center, dumps it in far side. Oakes goes after it down in the corner, puts a backhand on it. Allmendinger will pick it up, takes it back behind the net. She'll have it knocked off her stick. Centering pass from the Mustangs is going to be turned away by Hanukkah. Puck comes down into the corner. Allmendinger. Centering pass from back behind the net. It's going to get covered up by Andel. She wasn't quite entirely sure if she had it covered, but she did. Face-off will be near side. Glove side of Andel between Everett and Kurtz. Bouncing puck loose in the slot is going to be cleared over to the far side by the Spuds. Up to Vasily, who puts a slap shot on that'll end up down in the near side corner. Retzer tries to clear, held in by Carroll. Kicked out by Dufault. Dumped back in by the Mustangs. It'll be Dufault far side, loose puck in the slot, gets turned over to the near side. And now we're going to have a penalty forthcoming on Johnson. I'm guessing interference. It was actually hooking. So the Spuds will go on the penalty kill with 7:48 to go here in the third. Game tied at 1. Kurtz and Everett to face off far side. Puck gets steered down into the corner, comes loose to Oakes along the side of the net. She tries to send it up and off the wall. It'll be Sandberg who holds it in, sends it back down behind the net. Sandberg near side. Kennedy Stewart. She's going to get steered down into the corner. Puck comes free up to Sandberg. Sandberg tries, but it'll end up tries for the shot, but it ends up down in the near side corner. Point blank range. It'll be Quinn Stewart who tries to take the shot. It'll get turned away by Andel. Spuds are able to clear it up and out. This one's going to roll all the way down in to the Rochester defensive zone, where it'll be sent back the other direction by Quinn Stewart. Dufault near side, around back behind the net to Hendrickson far side. Turned back down into the corner by Quinn Stewart. Now Lee. Lee drops it back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson is able to kick it out to center. Dufault has the break. Default shot gets knocked down by Ranfranz. Puck loose out in front. Lee shot. They're continuing to chop at it. I did not hear a whistle. I don't think they had it covered up. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell. 13 seconds remain on the Spuds penalty kill. Faceoff will be far side out of the Mustang defensive zone between Shirley and Wadewitz. They really need to learn how to learn how to control their music. It's way too loud in here. Dufault tries to backhand it. It'll be picked off by Wadewitz. Wadewitz gets and Hockett both take the tumble. It'll be picked up by Satterstrom. Puck far side, shot, goal. 6:09, the Mustangs have taken the lead. On the go-ahead goal by Vasily. Not too deep. 6:09, Spuds trail 2-1. Spuds win the draw. Hockett with the puck. Has it knocked off a stick by Satterstrom.
Second of the game, number 22.
Sent around behind the net.
Vasily. With the assist from number 12, Madrid Satterstrom.
Puck is bounced out to center ice. Oakes near side, dumps it into the corner.
That's Vasily
all the way
from Satterstrom at 7:51.
Held in by Hendrickson, far side. Again, held in by Hendrickson, far side. Down in behind the net, Carroll. Nass, Shirley, back to Nass. Nass brings it around, shot, rebound loose out front of Ranfranz. It'll end up once again on the side of the net, and the ref will blow it dead. If you think the announcer and the music is loud on your TVs and on your audio stream, you should hear it here. That is definitely excessive for this tiny little arena. Steen, near side, sends it over onto the boards. Mustangs are able to clear it out. It'll be picked up at center by Rakosnick. I know he just said the name, and I completely forgot it. Vasily. Puck held up far side. Hendrickson Johnson. Cleared out by Steen, touched at center by Kurtz. Far side, Sandberg dumps it in, cleared right back out by Oakes. Oakes cross ice over to Hendrickson. Kicked away by Vasily. Or excuse me, that was Stewart, Quinn Stewart. She'll send it down into the near side boards. Oakes will retrieve it there. Quinn Stewart holds it in, takes the shot. Spuds are able to clear it. Down into the near side of the Mustang zone. Carried right back out through center by Sandberg. Bumped in by Smith right after it to be sent out. Mustangs will end up offside with 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third, leading 2-1. Face-off far side is going to be controlled by the Spuds, sent into the Spuds zone, turned out by Allmendinger, held in by Smith. Puck goes down into the far side corner. All the way around on the near side boards, Retzer. Retzer and Carroll fight for it. Carroll comes away with it. Carroll brings it into the slot, looks for the backhand, drops it off. Shot by Smith is going to be turned away by Andel. Spuds come away with it. Oakes out to center. Taken by Kennedy Stewart. Blocked by Retzer. Dumped in, or knocked into the Mustang zone by Retzer. Waidwitz out to center. Johnson near side. She's going to get pushed off of it by Kennedy Stewart. Retzer near side, fights her way down in. Cutter comes away with a cutter shot, goes just about an inch and a half wide of the far side of the net. Retzer holds it in, far side, goes for the change, picked up down in the corner by Vasily, sent out to center. Lee, near side, is able to carry it all the way down and in before having it knocked off her stick. Puck ends up back behind the net. Near side wall. Cutter, centering pass will come up to Dufault. Dufault shot. Goes just wide behind the net. Centering pass by Johnson is going to get turned away out in front of the net and picked up by the Mustangs, taking the other direction by Kennedy Stewart. She had the breakaway but got ran down by Dufault. Puck along the near side boards. It'll be Dufault who tries to clear. Fitzgerald is there to hold it in. It's going to get sent the length of the ice by Cutter. And called back on icing, but that'll give the Spuds the chance to make the change. 2 minutes, 17 ticks left here in this third period. Spuds trailing 2-1. If you haven't tried it out, we do have an audio stream. You can go to audio.kc0ode.com and click play if you want just an audio-only feed. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the game. Oaks, far side. She gets tripped up. It'll be pulled loose by Satterstrom. Satterstrom gets held up down in the corner. Both her and Allmendinger go down. Puck sits along the wall. Behind the net, Oaks along the near side. It'll end up with Sandberg and get pushed out to center by Shirley. Ness has it, near side board, centering pass. Shirley can't get a stick on it. It goes all the way over on the far side wall and get chipped out to center by the Mustangs. Held up along the red line. Hockett tries to send it the other direction. Forward pass is intercepted by Shirley. Shirley brings it in. Top of the slot, shot gets blocked in traffic. Puck will be kicked over to the side by Ranfranz. Far side, handled by Dufault at center. Cross over to Johnson. Johnson off the skate, or off the skate of Shirley. It'll be Marley Smith who puts a shot in from the red line onto Andel. 62 seconds remain, third period. Spuds need to find one to tie it up. Face off far side of the Moorhead zone. Shirley wins the draw. Spuds control. Dufault off the back wall. Picked up near side. Carroll stolen away by Ness. Spuds are able to clear it out to center. Fitzgerald, far side. Dufault, 47-46. Over to Ness, near side. Ness along the boards, looks to send it ahead, sends it up to Hockett. It's going to go all the way down into the corner and be handled there by Carroll. Carroll out through center, sends it the length of the ice. That one's going to be called back on icing as Addison Andel skates to the bench to give the Spuds that extra skater advantage. 31 seconds remain, 6-on-5, Moorhead advantage. They're looking to pick one more up to tie this game at 2. Faceoff comes back down into the Mustang zone, far or near side. Up and off the glass, held in by Oaks. Oaks down to Ness. Mustangs are able to clear it out. It's going to be picked up near side by Shirley, just inside of her own zone. Shirley tries to send it ahead. It'll go off the boards. Kick down into the zone, 10 seconds. Mustangs clear it out. That one's going to go the length of the ice. No icing on that one. 5-4. Spuds have run out of time. They're going to take the loss on this one by a final of 2-1. And that is how we're going to end game 1 of the Danglefest 2023 tournament. Never fear, your Moorhead Spuds will be back in action tomorrow morning, or actually tomorrow at noon. Game time 12:15. So with that, we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to call it a night. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to go relax. You guys have a good night. For my camera operator, Steve Oakes, I'm Seth. This has been a production of Krabby Toad Studios. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.